Yeah, back to Chip and Chunk. Here we are. Okay, so the goal today is to edit this down to make sense audio-wise. Maybe we'll bring this down a little bit. Wait, it's off now. She's saying, I'm just going to go over there. A little bit bolder than I expected, but I appreciate it. Where are we at here? Can I find my own videos? There we go. Finally. There we go. All right. Here we are. Okay. So I don't know if this is interesting for other people, but this has to be done regardless, so we're going to do this on stream.
I need you to start mixing all this salt and all this water together to make salt water. I know, it's very chemical. I know, Chip. This is very technical stuff we're talking about here.
Okay, so that joke, I mean, just like kind of punches. It's moving a little slow, so I think...
I need you to start mixing all this salt and all this water together to make salt water.
Together.
I know, it's very chemical. I know, Chip.
What?
This is very technical stuff we're talking about here, but if you just do as I say, we'll be good. And then...
I think I'm pissing off. I wonder if I pissed her off or not. I don't know. I hate for her to come out on a Friday night. Where in the world? Okay, so let's get another pen and just take a note. Well, I think we can hold the note. Let's kind of see. So we got to get all this salt water together. All right, so we established that. Then we also kind of have this opening here. So maybe we could establish the story. There may still need to be an open with the story. So then we have Chip. I do like this open.
Chip, wake up, Chip. It is me.
I'm awake.
I have chosen you to be the greatest general of all time, greater than Genghis Khan.
It's kind of funny. Underneath, Chip is like saying things, but I don't know if I want that anymore.
Greater than Alexander the Great. I believe in you, young prince. I believe that your success will be so great, even I will barely be capable of fathoming. Clearly, I'm capable of fathoming, but it would go right to the edge of what my capabilities are, and I would say, wow, this is right at the edge of what I could understand, and it's still understandable, though.
Okay, that kind of works. We're still a buck in, though.
Chip, look at me.
Chip, great news. I just found...
Okay, so then there's a transition.
that is willing to buy all of our salt water.
That's funny. I used a Venezuelan. Saying a Venezuelan trillionaire is kind of funny because Venezuelan money is very inflated. Kind of topical, too. Let's make sure... Shit's about to go down at my building.
The chosen one. Clean up this mess. God told me that I let him scale.
So he's like, clean up this mess.
So I can watch the scale for a block, and then they don't know what to do. And I think a lot of our problems are
Chip,
solved that.
even though you weren't my friend, I just have to say you're a huge disappointment to me.
Okay, so then we're gonna need some sort of line like, "Hey, make sure to pay attention. There's gonna be a delivery soon," and then that's when we get to Owl. And this Owl scene's a little long.
Mr. Owl, I got a delivery here, package for the one and only household. God woke me up this morning and told me that I'm the chosen one and that I have to raise a giant army and take over the whole world. Great things, Candid, Alexander.
This is really...
Alexander. Chip, you probably don't know this about me, but I'm an atheist. The hardest part about being an atheist is being right. There's
You know, I will say with this type of subject matter, I was always kind of wondering when would be the right time to put it out, but I just don't care about stuff like that anymore. Timing content out is just, I don't care about that shit anymore. I'm just going to put it out and it'll be on the internet, and if the time is right, it'll catch on. If it doesn't, it's whatever. I'll move on to the next thing.
a big guy in this.
But I kind of like this idea that the audience knows that there's clearly something going on with Chip. But instead of humoring Chip, he kind of mocks. Well, he doesn't mock him. He just kind of like, puts him down. Uh-oh, we got a kitten in the background.
The sun's going to expand and kill everything you ever knew and loved, and none of this really matters.
Well, that's where you're wrong, Mr. Owl, because there are things that matter. Bad loved ones, and butterflies, and sunset.
I need you to respect my beliefs to respond to anything you say about your silly superstition.
Ha! Okay, yeah, he goes pretty hard on that, doesn't he? I feel like the way he's saying, like, I'm an atheist is like someone being like, I'm actually gay.
Hey, Mr. Owl.
I got a delivery here, package for the one and only household.
God woke me up this morning and told me that I'm the chosen one and that I have to raise a giant army and
No
take
kidding.
over the whole world.
Oh,
Rather than
wow.
great things kind of
This is really awkward.
Alexander.
And Chip, you probably don't know this about me, but I'm an atheist. The hardest part about being an atheist is being right. That there's no big guy in the sky controlling everything. How absurd would that be? The sun's going to expand and kill everything you ever knew and loved, and none of this really matters.
Well, that's where you're wrong, Mr. Owl, because there are things that matter. Bad loved ones, and butterflies, and sunset.
I need you to respect my beliefs to respond to anything you say about your silly superstition. I'd rather talk about things that are important to atheists, like, well, hey Chip, I gotta get going, buddy. Have a good day.
Hey, Mr. Owl.
You know what might be funnier? It might be funnier if Chip asks. Someone might be coming by soon. It'd be funnier if Chip asked, well, what do atheists believe in? And he's like, I gotta get out of here. Because it'd be funnier if Chip asked the question.
Bye, Mr. Owl.
Chip, 1, 2. Bye, Mr. Owl. Check 1, 2. Boom, boom. So yeah, let's put something in there. What's kind of funny? I almost feel like it would kind of add more cohesion if the conversation was going back and forth where he's like, hey, Chip. And he's like, hi, Mr. Owl. And he's like, oh, I'm an atheist. He's like, an atheist? And he's like, that he's paying attention. But also, the way he kind of just talks over him, I kind of like that. That could be a reoccurring theme in the story, too, which is that the characters kind of talk over him. Let's see if we can get that idea out. All right, let's see what we got. So, Mr. Owl didn't really have to show up, but we got him anyway. Might need to... What if we render this out real quick? Let's go check in on what's going on over here. Maybe we can get the building lady to talk to him. All right. We're rendering right now. Can you guys see me rendering? You guys can't see. So the render will make it a little bit easier to scrub through the footage. I really got a lot going on this machine because I stream on it and I run, you know, the video editing software, and I have very large monitors. I got the Cintiq tablet that I'm drawing on, and then I have an ultra wide monitor. So it's a lot. It's a lot on the machine. Boom, 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 boom. So we got another minute and a half. Anybody got any questions? Ask me a question. Ask me a question. So then I can respond. I'm a little worried. I'm like a crazy person. Like they said that Ronald Reagan was like an empty person unless there was someone else in the room. But I feel like when people are very performative, like Ronald Reagan was, that when he's by himself, he probably just prefers the silence. You know, because if it's up to him, why not alleviate yourself from all things required, you know? No, 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 no. What's going on? I guess I could pull something else up instead of just giving you guys a black screen. I need something to dab my face off with because I don't like how shiny I look. Kitten, go and get me a handkerchief. I wonder what makes them handkerchiefs. Handkerchiefs. You guys hear of anything interesting in the news lately? Anything going on in the news by chance? Meow, meow. Meow, 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 meow. Oh, let's get that link. Bye, Mr. Owl. Bye, Mr. Owl. The thing is, some of the stuff that I put down, like audio-wise, is like really like guttural, almost like Kenny from South Park. You can't really tell what he's saying, but I don't mind. I don't mind at all. I like how it's chunks too. We're almost there. They said it'd be 20 seconds, but 20 seconds probably means more like 2 or 3 minutes. Check 1, 2. Rendering's tough. Rendering's tough. But once we get this rendered, we'll be good. You know, it might be interesting to see me edit an upcoming animation.
I need you to start mixing all of this salt and all of this water together to make salt water. I know, it's very chemical. What? I know, Chip. This is very technical stuff we're talking about here, but if you just do as I say, we'll be good. And then we'll be rich, and we can continue to live here.
I can do that.
Chip. Wake up, Chip. It is me, and I have chosen you to be the greatest general of all time. Greater than Genghis Khan, greater than Alexander the Great. I believe in you, young prince. I believe that your success will be so great, even I will barely be capable of fathoming. Clearly, I'm capable of fathoming, but it would go right to the edge of what my capabilities are, and I would say, wow, this is right at the edge of what I could understand, and it's still understandable, though, because I'm all-knowing. Chip, look at me.
I am.
Chip,
And in that time,
great
I will
news.
show you.
I just found a Venezuelan trillionaire that is willing to buy all of our salt water.
I will say, I think that these lines are delivered entirely too slow. So if there's anything we're going to do is that I'll have to speed these up But why don't we edit and figure out what lines we want to keep? So it's basically like, hey, what's going on? I think we still got to do an open. So I think, well, you know, I guess you can't know everything. But I do think, because everything is fine. And what's the ideal time for a short video? I don't even know. Let's ask chat. Ask the chat. No one's talking in your chat. No one's going to say anything. Come on, chat. I need chat. Please, chat. Length for like a TikTok or reel video, vertical video. 7 to 15 seconds. Value heavy, story driven, 30 to 60 seconds. Okay. So if that's the case and we got about 5 minutes, we're talking about, I don't know, has anybody ever serialized that long of TikToks? I don't know. You guys are pretty good at telling me what's going on in the world, so I don't know. So 7 to 15 seconds, and then it kind of goes to 30 to 30 second, or 30 to, let's see what it says. Hard cap, up to 10 minutes, but less than 60 will perform best in discoverability. Reels are max 90 seconds, but most top performing are under 30 seconds. Shorts max 60 seconds. So it looks like we're somewhere between 30 and 60 seconds. So if we cut this up and it's 5 minutes, what do we got left? We got 5 minutes is 10 chapters. That's a lot. That's a lot to keep up with. But if it's here, it's here. So really, I should be able to come up with something. I should be able to carve something out of what we got.
I need you to start mixing all this salt and all this water together to make salt water. I know, it's very chemical.
Okay, so he actually says, I reached out to a Venezuelan trillionaire, which is almost kind of in poor taste now, but then he gets his visit from God. So what I would say is it might be better to get his visit from God second. What does he say?
Look at me.
I am. Sure. In that time,
Great
I will
news.
show you.
I just found a Venezuelan trillionaire that is willing to buy all of our salt.
Hey, Fujo Bear.
God said I'm the chosen one.
Clean up this mess.
God told me that I gotta scale, gotta get a scale so I can watch the scale for a block, and then I'll know what to do
With Chip.
I think a lot of our problems are
Chip,
solved there. That's just
even
what
though
God
you
promised
are
us.
my
We
friend,
know a lot.
I just have to say you're a huge disappointment to me.
So we could do the sign off. You remember Chip and Chunk? Yeah, Fujo, you've been around for a while. You've seen this project for a while. What's up? Say hi, kitty. Oh, you can't see from here. Kitten, kitty girl. Why don't you hang out up here, kitty girl? She's so feisty. Yeah, you do remember. You're an OG, Fujo Bear. When I get hot back on the Patreon, we should just have a patron level that's just called Fujo Bear. I got a patron who's been giving me money for a long time, has been very committed to the Patreon, and when it's time to reestablish what we're doing, because I really am trying to set myself up for this to be a very prolific time to drop stuff. But doing is better than talking, right, my friend? You know what I'm up to. But anyway, yeah, no, there's another person super dedicated.
Look at me.
I am.
Chip.
In that time,
Great
I will
news.
show you.
So I think really what this story is that I'm missing is that maybe Chip is hallucinating, and so it's making him look bad. So we'll see. So he's got like, Chip, you got to do this stuff with the salt water. Here comes God. And so he's there and he's like,
Scale. Got
I don't know when the scale thing came up. So this might actually be the end.
Great news! I just found a Venezuelan trillionaire that is willing to buy all of our salt water.
God said I'm the chosen one.
Clean up this mess.
God told me.
Clean up
that
this mess.
I got scale. Gotta do the scale so I can watch the scale for the lot. And then I'll know what to do. And I think a lot of our problems are
Chip,
gonna solve that. I just
even
thank
though
God for
you
us.
are my
I
friend,
know a lot.
I just have to say you're a huge disappointment.
I will say, I think I started this project in 2021. And my ability to mix audio is much better than it was when I made this cut. Because I can hear so many problems. Check 1, 2. So we'll just put that in between. So maybe we could come up with a real short one. But anyway, let's see how long Mr. Owl is. So if we just look at Mr. Owl's clip, that might actually be one of the longer ones. Maybe this is the beginning of everything, and maybe Mr. Owl shows up at the end. I don't know. I'm open for anything at this point. Anything could happen. So this Mr. Owl is 1 minute and 16 seconds. So we would ideally probably want to cut this in half.
Bye, Mr. Owl. Package for the one and only household. God woke me up this morning and told me that I'm the chosen one and that I have to raise a giant army and take over the whole world. Greater than great things, Alexander.
This is really
Alexander.
Alexander. I like that line.
Chip, you.
So that's after. So this has to be after he sees God. Okay. So maybe the open isn't done yet. I don't know.
Chip, wake up, Chip. It is.
Might be time for me to record a different Chip. Wake up, my sweet Chip. Do we got? Do I got something to record this on? I'll record it on Audacity. I don't care. GarageBand. Okay, cool. This should work. So I'm gonna grab GarageBand and I'm gonna try to get some other audio clips. Instead of making notes,